Welcome to the Coach and Crew Show. I am your host, the coach, Charlie Krause, and today I'm breaking down the NFL draft. The draft was this past weekend. Here I've gone through all the teams and all the picks over draft weekend, and I'm going to rank them out my personal top five so you don't have to. So sit back, enjoy, and here is, yes, a subjective rankings of my top five. Let's start with number one. I have the Tennessee Titans as having one of the best, if not the best, draft weekend. Let's start with the blockbuster that was the blockbuster. They sent their wide receiver, AJ, to just said, okay, hey, listen, you want to make that $100 million elsewhere? Fine. We're going to go draft Traylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas, first round. Second round, they take a shutdown corner in Roger McCreary. They throw in the right tackle at Ohio State. And then the headliner that a lot of people were excited and curious about, Malik Willis, the quarterback at Liberty Bibberty. All right, he had a great 2 years at Liberty. I also remember from him from his days at Auburn. I don't think he's NFL day one ready yet, but he's got a great coaching staff to surround himself with. And with that type of offense, he might be the perfect fit. It might not be on September 1st, but I think he's going to be a heavy impact down the road. Throw in a 1-2 punch. Now you have Hassan Haskins, the running back from Michigan, who was a major ground force in the Wolverines' 12-1 season this year. All of that combined, I think Tennessee had the best draft of the weekend. Last year in my top five, I had the New York Jets. Well, this year in the top five, I've got the New York Jets again. So eventually, they're going to have to start doing something with these picks. We'll see if they jump out of where they were and drafted fourth. So we'll compare that to the end of this season. Arguably, the best shutdown corner was in the draft. Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati, and an All-American receiver, Garrett Wilson. They had a third first-round pick as well, and he just kept falling and falling and falling. So for the value of the pick, in theory, if you trust even 1/3 of what the experts say, Jermaine Johnson, the defensive end for Florida State, more importantly, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Second round, you throw in Breece Hall, the workhorse running back at Iowa State. I think he's going to be a key addition to the Jets. And as an undrafted free agent, hopefully he'll be pushing them. Bam Knight, the running back out of North Carolina State. I think he's going to be able to hold his own. And then, yes, there's personal favorites and personal sentiments here. C.J. Brewer, defensive tackle, Coastal Carolina. He is an undrafted free agent. Hopefully he can add depth to the team. Hopefully he can make the squad. And if at extreme minimum, hopefully he can be a practice squad player as well. But great pickup by the Jets in getting C.J. Brewer from Coastal Carolina. Coming in at number 3 of my picks of the best draft weekend was everybody who wanted to move upon this team. So if you traded up and you were always coming ahead of that team, that says you something as well. The Baltimore Ravens. They went right out of the gate, got the safety Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, throw in one of the best, if not the best center in all of college football from Iowa, Tyler Lindenbaum. And then you have your edge rusher, David Abajo from Michigan. You throw in some tackles. And, oh, by the way, they had 1 million fourth-round picks. Okay. Charlie Kolar from Iowa State. He held his own, had a great season. And then, yes, Isaiah Likely, who was one of the highest rated from PFF from Coastal Carolina. Baltimore, I think, had a phenomenal draft, even if they do draft a punter in the 4th round as well. So we'll overlook that one. The Eagles come in at number 4 for me. Members of the Coach and Crew show have a word they describe Jordan Davis by as lazy. And I think that can get worked out of him. Otherwise, he'll be worked off of the field altogether, and that'll be sending a quick message hard. Regardless, Jordan Davis, you didn't run when he was on the field. Problem is, he only was on the field about 33% of the plays. So I still think the Eagles got themselves a home run in Jordan Davis. And that round, as I mentioned earlier, they were on the receiving end of A.J. Brown. So they traded one of their first round picks for A.J. Brown, the wide receiver from Tennessee. So there's an instant weapon. Throw in Cam Jurgens, the center from Nebraska, and then how this guy slipped down to the third round. Tantor has his theories. I cannot say them publicly on air without major fallout. But Nakobe Dean, the linebacker from Georgia, fell first round talent, but fell to the third round for some reasons or another. We might have to. They might be nervous they see his name somewhere for all the wrong reasons in the newspapers. But the Philadelphia Eagles, regardless, top 5, they were number 4 overall. We're going to stay inside the state of Pennsylvania for the rounding out the top 5. And you got to hand it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They sat patiently at 20 and waited and waited and waited. And there you have it. And maybe it's a little bit of a makeup from 1982, but drafting Kenny Pickett, who I thought was the best quarterback in the draft, at 20 in the first round, just felt right. And maybe I have some bias there. I'm not a Steelers fan, but it just feels right that he stays in Pittsburgh. Pick up a wide receiver from Georgia in the second round and a defensive tackle from Texas A&M in the third round. Then you go a little speed on the outside with Calvin Austin from Memphis. And yes, this name should sound familiar. Hayward, as in Ironhead's son, Connor, tight end from Michigan State, 6th-round pickup. Throw in some depth at linebacker in the 7th round, and Pittsburgh has themselves a solid draft. Exactly what you expect from the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. There you have it. There is my top 5 drafts for this weekend and how teams did. What are your top 5s? Comment below and share who would you put in your top 5 if there's any differences. Like and subscribe to our videos and check out our website, coachandcrewshow.com. It shows all 32 teams and every pickup they made over the course of the weekend. Thanks for watching.